started. And I'm going to start by going through a slideshow of alerting and announcing and good etiquette, especially as it relates to online bridge. As I have been told that some people are not following the rules when it comes to alerting or announcing bids. So I just thought I'd go through the rules. These are the EBU rules, so we're not obliged to follow them, in fact, but you may as well learn how you should be alerting and announcing either online or in face-to-face bridge, so that you get into good habits. If there are other games where if you don't alert or announce, people will call the director and may say things to you. That may not happen too much here in the gentle duplicate, but it's just as well to get into good habits about it. I'm going to go through a little slideshow here and then show how on BBO, how you are meant to self-alert your own bids, and have a little demo of that if everything is working. So just to start with, on BBO, what's different there is that you self-alert your own bids, whereas on RealBridge or in face-to-face bridge, you alert your partner's bids. So what I'm going to talk about here are what are the bids that need to be alerted or announced, but the mechanism for alerting them or announcing them is different depending on when you're playing on BBO or if you're on RealBridge. And on RealBridge, you'll see that little red alert card that you can click when you wish to alert your partner's artificial bid. And there is actually an option now for self-alerting on RealBridge, but I haven't turned that on. I've not tried that. So if anyone has any views about that, whether they'd like to see it done that way, do let me know. I've just left it at the default for now. So what I wanted to talk about first of all is which bids need to be alerted and announced. And basically, most artificial and highly unusual bids need to be alerted unless they are announced. And there's a subtle difference between alerting and announcing, which is actually even more subtle on online bridge, but I'll go through that in a minute. Common bids that need to be alerted are the 2 club opening bid and the 2 diamond response. So on BBO, if you're about to make an opening bid of 2 clubs, you're meant to self-alert it. Or in other forms of bridge, when your partner makes a 2 club opening bid, you're meant to alert it with the alert card. Other common bids that need to be alerted are 4-suit forcing bids, when you bid all 4 suits, and the last suit to be bid is may not show a real suit. That's meant to be alerted. Splinter bids are meant to be alerted. They're artificial bids. The 2 no trump to an opening week 2, whatever you play that as, unless it's natural, needs to be alerted as well. So I teach that should be a feature asking bid, and Tony, that should be alerted. Yeah.
Tony, what does it mean, 2 no trump response for week 2 bid?
So if your partner opens with a week 2 and you make a 2 no trump response, that's what that means.
Is that an artificial bid, is it?
It depends on the system you play, but there are 2 common systems. The one I recommend, which is that 2 no trump, is a feature request. Oh, and so that's why it's artificial. It has a particular meaning.
Okay.
The 2 spade response to 1 no trump should also be alerted, unless it's a natural bid. So if you play it as a 2 spades as a sign-off, then it's not. But if it has some other meaning, like some people play it shows 11 points, that also should be alerted. And other alertable bids are if you double a low-level suit contract and you play that is a penalty double, so they open 1 heart, and if you double that and that's a penalty double, that is alertable if that's your system. And if you double 1 no trump as a takeout to ask your partner to bid something, that is your system, that is also alertable. So these are considered artificial or unusual bids that need to be alerted. You do not need to alert most bids above 3 no trump. A double of a suit that's intended for takeout is not alertable, or a double of a no trump bid that's intended for penalties is not alertable either. So these, as I said, these are the EBU rules that I recommend you learn and try and follow. Sorry, let me go back. Now, announcements is sort of very similar to alerts, but instead of just alerting the bid, you give immediately an explanation of what it shows. And the idea is that very common bids, instead of them always being alerted, you actually say what they show. So you do that in face-to-face or in online bridge. And the common bids that should be announced are the no trump opening bids. So if you're playing face-to-face, you open one no trump, your partner is meant to say the point range. Or on BBO, you self-alert it and self-announce the point range as you bid one no trump. And when you do that, your partner doesn't see your announcement, but the opponents do. In other words, the announcement is for the opponents. It's not for your partner to be reminded of what your system is. It's to tell the opponents what your bid means. Other bids that need to be announced are the Stayman responses to 1 no trump and 2 no trump. That's 2 clubs and 3 clubs. But you don't have to alert or announce the 2 diamond, 3 diamond response to that. In other words, if it goes 1 no trump, 2 clubs, Stayman, 2 diamonds, that for whatever reason is not included in the alertable rules. Opening bids of at the 2 level are meant to be announced. Either your partner is meant to announce them, or on BBO you self-announce them, and you should write in either weak or strong forcing or strong not forcing. Those are the descriptions you should give for your opening 2s. And red suit transfers in response to 1 no trump or 2 no trump, those should be announced as well. So if it goes 1 no trump, 2 diamonds as a transfer to hearts, as you bid the 2 diamonds on BBO, you say hearts. You type in hearts, and we'll include that in a little demo we're showing you how the bidding, alerting works on BBO. So the announcements are made by your partner, but on BBO you self-alert all the above bids. These are the bids you're meant to be alerting or announcing. Why is that? Why is all this done? Well, because those are the rules. Those are the EBU rules, and it's a good idea to get used to them, so you'll sort of do it automatically and you won't get called up for not doing it at any point.
Tony,
Yes.
Here, when you say strong and forcing, what does forcing mean? You're asking the partner that to support you on that.
Forcing means that your partner should not pass.
Okay.
Not forcing means that they can pass.
Okay.
All right. So those people who play strong 2s, some people play that if you open 2 hearts, that must be, you must respond to that. Others play that you can pass with a very weak hand.
Okay,
of course, most people now, I think, play weak 2s in 3 suits, and so those should be announced as weak. A little bit more on etiquette. I should sort of add a bullet point here based on the comment earlier that please don't talk about your hand with your partner. That is considered a definite no-no. I don't normally use the word cheating, but let's say, inadvertently, you're not meant to discuss it or comment or say why, talk about the hand while it's being bid at all. It's you're meant to be absolutely silent about that. On all platforms, please greet the opponents and introduce yourselves and give a short summary of your system. So on BBO, you should set up your chat so that you send out a message at the beginning of each round to say, hello, this is Helen and Joe, and we play transfers and week twos. Just a short description of your bidding system is considered good etiquette. You can do the same on the RealBridge too. And just a thing on RealBridge, please keep any background noise to a minimum. Remember any comments you're making. And someone suggested if you're eating, maybe you should turn your camera off. So it's sort of not considered polite to be sharing your dinner with your opponents. And one other thing I want to demonstrate is on BBO, it does sometimes come about that you want to ask a question about a bid. And in that case, you should chat just to the person concerned or to the opponents, but not to the whole table. So I'll show you also how to do that if you wish to ask a question. Okay. Another little point on etiquette, it's good practice to claim once the outcome is clear. I suggest you always draw trumps first, and then claim when it's clear cut. And don't claim just because the result is clear to you. Wait until you think the claim will be clear cut to the opponents. So in other words, wait till it sort of looks really obvious that you've got all winners in one hand, and then claim. And there's also probably not much point claiming if you've just got one or two tricks to go. You may as well just play it because you're not probably saving much time. And don't make comments unless you're asked for them. The only comments you should be making are things like well done partner, well done opponents, well played partner, which you can abbreviate, of course, on BBO. And don't offer advice like why didn't you do this, and so on. If you find that when you're playing you're having difficulty finding a partner, maybe it's because your etiquette isn't all it might be, and you may be criticizing your partner. And if there is any rudeness or bad behavior, or I'll add to that, if there's any communication about the hand, hints about what to bid going on between the two players, do let me know about it. If it just happens once, if it's just someone commenting, oh, we should bid such and such, then tell them by all means. Or if you decide you don't want to tell them, you don't want any conflict, then do tell me about it. Tell me who was involved, and I will address the matter. And then, enjoy your game. Even though there are lots of rules here, try and keep this friendly and be tolerant of anyone who doesn't quite alert in the right way, for example. So what I wanted to do now was to switch to a little game just to demonstrate how the alerting and announcing goes on BBO. Okay, so I'm going to demonstrate a couple of things. I've set this up as a table in the RealBridge Club, and you can see I'm sitting here as North, and I've got other accounts here which I'll be playing the other hands with. So I want to just demonstrate how to alert and how to announce your own bids on BBO. And let's imagine that this is the North hand, and I want to open this one no trump. Now obviously this hand is not suitable for one no trump, but it's just a random hand. I can't make the hands be what I want, which would be good for this. So ignore the actual hand here. I'm just using it as a demonstration of how to alert or announce your bid. So let's suppose I'm about to bid one no trump. There are a number of different ways you can do this. Perhaps the easiest way is to click here where it says explain, and before you make the bid, type in the point range that you're going to announce. So I'm about to bid one no trump, but before I do so, I type 12 to 14 down here, and then I make my bid, one no trump. And the bid will now appear on the screen of my opponents. They will all see something like this, one no trump with an explanation. And if you want to make that go away, just click on the white part here to make it go away. My partner doesn't see that, and he just sees that I've bid one no trump. Okay, so let's suppose the bidding continues with a pass from east, and now my partner, suppose they want to make a transfer bid. What they do, and we'll see this in a moment, what they do is they might give an explanation of it. Suppose they're going to bid 2 hearts as a transfer to spades. What they do is they type in the description, and you can't see this at the moment, is they type in a description like spades, and then they bid whatever they want to bid, like 2 hearts as a transfer to spades. Now, because I'm their partner, I don't see that. I don't see that bid. Okay, I only see it. Only the opponents will see that is a transfer bid. I just see it as 2 hearts, and I'm not meant to say anything. I'm meant to assume that my partner has alerted correctly. Okay, so just to show you how that works, I'll just redeal this hand, and I'll just do another. Sorry, I'm just trying to find a. So I'm just trying to redeal this hand. Just a second. Okay, I can't seem to do that. Let's instead do. Let me do an undo. See if that works. So I'm just trying to. Can't seem to find an undo. Just bear with me a second while I. Okay. All right. So let's look at it from your partner's point of view. Let's assume that we've instead. I just want to show you what it looks like when you alert a transfer bid. So let's suppose I start off with a pass here, and the bidding then goes pass, and this time my partner. Let's suppose my partner is going to open 1 no trump. What they do is they're going to type in 12 to 14, bid 1 no trump. Okay, and although they've alerted it, I don't. Although they've announced the point range as 12 to 14, I don't see that. Okay, so then when it comes to me, if I want to make a transfer bid, so let's suppose we're playing transfers, and I want to transfer to spades. What I'm going to do is bid 2 hearts, and then that will be a transfer to spades. So what I'm going to do here is in the explanation box, I'm going to say spades, and then I'm going to click on 2 hearts, and the opponents, but not my partner, will see this box with an explanation of 2 hearts as a transfer to spades. And then when it comes round to my partner, they will bid 2 spades. So my partner then is expected to bid 2 spades, and there's no alert or announcement for that. But that's how it would go on. You can also alert a bid without making any announcement. Just alert it, and I'll just show you how you do that. So suppose it comes around to me, and suppose I want to now make a bid that I want to alert, but without announcing what it is. The way I can do that is I click on the alert button, and then I'll make the bid. So obviously this is not a real bidding sequence here, but if I were to bid, say, 3 clubs, what happens is the opponents now see that this bid is highlighted. It's got a red box around it, but there's been no explanation given for what it means. But I've self-alerted it without giving an explanation. Okay, so you can normally you would announce a bid and explain what it is at the same time. But if you just want to alert an artificial bid, then that's how you do it, by clicking on alert. One other thing I want to mention is that if there's a question about the bid and you wish to ask a question of the opponents, you should generally either chat just to the person concerned, or you can chat to the opponent. So if I want to talk just to my the person sitting east, I can click on the name here. If you're on a Windows thing, actually you can right click on it and you can bring up this thing called private chat, and you can send them a message. Like you would ask them something like, what did that bid mean? Something like that. And when they reply, they should be replying just to you. So you'll send that message just to them, and they should reply just to you. In other words, you shouldn't be communicating with your partner inadvertently by asking questions and getting responses. Another thing you can do down here, where it's got who you chat to, you can also set it to chat either to a private person or just to the opponents. So if you have a message to the opponents, you can ask about that. What was that? Or something like that, and then that will go just to the two opponents, and your partner won't see it. So if you have any questions to ask that you shouldn't really be communicating with your partner about, then that's how you do it on BBO.
Tony, does that mean if you get an answer to what a bid meant, your partner won't get it?
Yes. If so, for example, let's try and simulate that. Let's suppose at another screen now where I'm one of the opponents, I'm going to click on the 3 club bid. I'm going to click on the 3 club bid, and it's come up with this message saying, please explain 3 clubs. And then I can give an explanation. So I will say, oh, sorry, like it was a misclick. Okay. And I can reply, and my partner doesn't see any of that, but the opponents will see that message.
Now, my question was, if you get an explanation for a bid.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a misclick, but a proper explanation. Well, that was a transfer because they haven't done it. Your partner won't know that. So your partner won't know that you've asked the question and got an answer.
That's right. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I mean, I think that's intended. So yes, so if, for example, I mean, this happens a lot. Let's suppose someone bids 1 no trump and then bids 2 hearts. Then someone would click on that and could say, was that a transfer, or what was that? And that. I mean, if it is a transfer, then the opponents are meant to say that it was, and they're meant to tell both opponents what it was. So some things like that could go to the whole table, but if you wish to talk to just the opponents, then you can use this chat feature in BBO to do that.
Tony,
yes.
At the same time, if somebody else from another table is just really sending a private message saying that, oh, hi, Rami, or something like that, whatever it is, can you reply that person from how he has greeted you or what he has asked you from another table?
Well, you could. I mean, here I've got a private message from this player, and if I click here on the name, that message my reply will go to just that person.
Right.
Okay. So you can do that. At any you can do that at any time. I mean, I think while you're still playing, you can. So I can send a private message to anyone I want to, and to reply to them, you just click their name here. So, and then it will launch a box to reply to them. Okay.
Thank you.
Any other questions? I don't know if I've covered everything you want to know.
Tony, no, I'd like to ask something. Tony, so every time you bid one no Trump, you have to alert it. Is that correct?
You are meant to.
Yes.
You are meant to announce your own.
Right.
One no Trump
right.
and two no.
But can you just alert without doing the announcement?
You're not really meant to.
Oh, I see.
Right.
Not sure
Because
I can cope with all this.
Yeah. Well, I suppose the things to try to get right are if you're playing transfers, to announce those.
Yes, yes.
Obviously, the one no Trump 12 to 14 is something that most of the people on this game do play as 12 to 14.
Yeah, because we've never alerted it. Well, I've never alerted it before, and nobody's really questioned it.
No, well, I'm questioning it now.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. So that is what you're supposed to do.
You are meant to announce something.
Right. Okay.
I mean, arguably, if you've set up your chat message so that at the beginning of each round.
Yeah.
So here, for example, if I bring up my chat manager, if you have a message here, which I think I've got one here at the bottom, let me just bring it. Yeah. So if I have a message like this, and I send that to the table at the beginning of each round, right? Then that's pretty good. You've told people what your one no Trump range is.
Okay.
So if you do that, it sort of doesn't matter so much if you don't alert your bid. So that may be a better way of doing it. But there still will be some artificial bids that you're meant to alert or announce.
Yes.
Tony,
yeah.
Sometimes you play on the main bridge club, and you come across even the American bridge players and all that.
Yes.
So their one no Trump is different points, 5 to 17 to hour.
That's right.
So you can put it down, then they'll realize that you are really not playing that.
That's
in
right.
the conventions.
That's right.
Okay.
Yes. So that's the idea of it, actually, that because in different parts of the world people use a different no Trump range, it's meant to be announced. So if do it with a chat message, or do it by announcing it as you bid it, but it's meant to make sure that there's no disadvantage, that your opponents are aware of what you're playing. Okay, so that's the whole point of it.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
If you're replying to your partner and you've got only 6 to 9 points, you will put it down as one no Trump, because that's what you can really do it. So what does that mean? Even that you have to explain that 6 to 9 points?
You mean if they open one of a suit?
Yes.
Yeah. No. So all the other bids, unless they've been mentioned in my slideshow, are not alertable. Unless they are highly unusual. So if your partner one of a suit is not alertable, and the reply to it, another suit or one no Trump, is not alertable. Just these opening bids of no Trump and the transfers and a few things like Stamen are alertable.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You are trying to say natural bids are not alertable.
Correct. Most natural bids are not alertable. That's right, unless they are highly unusual. But I hope none of you are playing anything highly unusual.
One thing more,
one day
I was playing, and opponent said to his partner, "You're worthless."
You're what? Worthless?
Yeah.
That's so rude.
Yeah, and I felt so bad, and I wanted to report, but I didn't know what to do. He was very, very rude person.
Yeah. Well, if you come across that in any of the games I run, do feel free to.
No, not your game. On the BBO.
Yeah. Well, there's no excuse for that, and I believe BBO have some automatic detection of swear words. So if you use any abusive language, you'll get barred for a period.
And then he said something worse than that.
Oh,
So I said,
terrible.
what's the matter with you?
Yeah. Well, I just, you know, I mean, did you know these people?
No.
No, no. All right. Well, I mean, you can make a comment if you wish, but obviously don't get involved in it.
I think because when we put the profile, Tony, as UK or England, this is why we get abuse from EU countries.
The EU?
Yeah.
Oh no!
From France or somewhere else.
They're blaming you for Brexit. Yeah, I don't know what to say about that. But if there is abuse, well, you know, find someone else. I mean, but hopefully there isn't any abuse today. But do let me know if there is any you know, bad behaviour or anyone, you know, communicating when they shouldn't. Any questions about any of that? So
we will have to practice this.
Yeah, I mean, just try and get the main ones right. I mean, I was covering this topic because, you know, some people said, oh, people are not alerting properly. But, you know, the main thing, I suppose if you have a message like this at the beginning of each round that you're playing transfers or things like that, then that should cover a lot of it. But I do see people forget to announce transfers. And when I've been playing, I see people, you know, just forgetting, and then I will often ask if it might affect my bid. I'm saying, was that a transfer bid? Okay.
Tony, I can't understand the logic of us telling the opponents what we are doing.
Okay. Well, the idea is that in any bidding system, you're not meant to have any secret meaning of any bid. In other words, you could devise a different game from bridge where you came up with all kinds of secret meanings for your bids that only meant something to your partner. But that's not the way bridge is. Any bid you have, any bid that has a meaning, must be disclosed to the opponents. If it has an artificial meaning, they must warn them straight away. Or if they ask about it, you must tell them all you know about the bid.
Oh, I see. This is if you have a regular partner.
Always.
Yeah.
You always do that. In other words, bridge is not a game of sort of coded messages. It's a game where any bid you make must be disclosed. So that's how bridge works. Okay. And I know people, when they're starting, they don't like that. They want to keep the opponents in the dark, but you're not allowed to.
Because we ourselves sometimes forget what my partner is bidding. Bad enough for that.
Any other questions?
When somebody says 2 clubs, and I've seen people say 3 clubs.
Yes, I know.
Response. This is the thing.
I know, when they forget they're playing Stamen.
Yeah.
Well, obviously, if
no, opening bid of 2 clubs. Somebody says 3 clubs. Then you can't do anything. Yeah.
Anyway, does anyone have any other questions or things they'd like me to cover? So that's it, really. I'm going to stop sharing my screen with you all. The only thing I'm going to ask is there anyone on here who needs a partner for today? Let me know. Let me just stop sharing, and I'll stop recording.